All right. Hey, guys. Thanks for joining us for tonight's call. Say hello. It's Tucker. So we have a really awesome special guest on tonight. Before that, we have a lot of events coming up that I wanted to make sure that you guys all know how important it is to get to live events. I think that should be a vital behavior because that's one thing that I knew I could do that didn't really scare me too much. So I went to every Super Saturday. If there was anything going on in New Jersey, like I went to it. I made sure I went to the summit, even though I knew I was the only one that was going from the team. I didn't have a team back then. I was maybe like a 4 or 5 month old coach. My upline wasn't going to Vegas at the time, but I brought my mom. So I went to that. So we have Philly is having an event, I believe in May, and correct me if I'm wrong, May 25th?
6th.
May 26th.
May 6th.
May 6th, sorry. We'll post it in the page again, but I believe the tickets are, like $100? And that's going to be an awesome training with Danielle Natoni and I forget the other guy, but it's going to be good, vital behavior, invitation process, that kind of stuff. So I would say any new coaches, if you're debating between going to that one, I say get to as many as you can, or Super Saturday, I would say go to that Philly event. But Super Saturday is April 8th. And then we're also having a team dinner, Leia. When's that going to be?
29th of April.
April 29th. So in New Jersey, you have a lot of events that you can go to, but everyone can get to a Super Saturday. So go into your Coach Online office, go to the events, and then you can search your zip code and see the closest one nearest you. And I even think they do virtual Super Saturdays. So if you want to hop on a Zoom with someone and watch the Super Saturday video, go for it. I mean, I think being involved in any way is just going to get you excited again, right? Because that's what events is about, is meeting new people, obviously, too, but reigniting your fire and getting that passion back. And it's going to be summertime. People are going to be wanting our help even more. So make sure that you get to some events. So Leia is going to take it over and introduce our speaker.
All right. So I'm super excited to have Taryn on the call with us tonight. Taryn is actually my success partner that we connected with a couple months ago, and she is on our, what would it be called? Our great uncle team. Keith Callahan is actually her direct coach. So if you guys know, Bob Lucido is our kind of upline, and Keith is under him. So we're all kind of cousins of a sort. But so she is a 1-star diamond coach. She lives outside of Boston, kind of a little bit south of Boston. She's a mama of 3. She is now full-time coaching and replaced her at-home daycare with her coaching business, and she just has an awesome energy, and you guys are going to love her. So, Taryn, take it away.
You're just the sweetest. I just love Leia. I'm so happy that she came into my life, and we were in this group together, and she sent me a message, and she's like, do you have a success partner? I'm like, I do, but I'll take another. And I'm so just happy to be here and chat with you guys tonight. So Leia asked if I would share a little bit about sharing authentically. So in order to do that, I just figured I'd give you guys a little bit of my backstory and how this all sort of came to be for me, because coaching was never, ever something I thought I'd do, ever. So I've actually known Keith, who is my upline now, for a really long time, since I was in high school. We're from the same hometown. So I saw him when he's been in this for, I think, 6 or 7 years now. So I saw him when he first started, and it was him along with a couple other people local from our town. It was one of my husband's best friends from high school. They all sort of jumped in and did this together, and they're posting all this crazy stuff and drinking this weird drink and talking about P90X and all I was like, what is the Kool-Aid? Like, that's honestly the first reaction that I had. And I was like, happy for them. Go for it. I don't know what the heck they're doing, but they're having fun. And that was it. So flash forward a few years, and I'm a mom of 3 kids. I was running an at-home daycare, which I was very blessed to be able to do because it let me be home with my kids. I have a very big extended family with lots of kids that needed to be watched. So it worked out great for my family and worked out for me, but it was exhausting. It, like, by the end of the day, I would just count the minutes until lunchtime, count the minutes until nap time, count the minutes until dinner time, count the minutes till my kids went to bed so I could plop on the couch and watch like the 10 shows that I had on DVR. And I was happy marriage, happy, healthy kids, loved my family, like nothing to complain about, but that was my life. And I always felt a little bit like I was settling. And I started to get in that rut of, okay, I have to do something for myself. So I saw the infomercials for T25. Now, mind you, I know like 10 coaches at this point because 4 years have gone by, so a couple more people drank that Kool-Aid, right? And I didn't go to any of them. Don't mind me, guys. I'm like tomato face. I just exercised, so I'm sorry if I'm sweating. I just ordered it off the infomercial. I was like, I don't need a coach. It's 25 minutes a day. If I can't do this, I gave birth to 3 kids. If I cannot work out for 25 minutes a day, someone needs to kill me. Like, that's ridiculous. So me and my husband were like, we're going to do this together. We lasted 2 days together because he needed to work out at night and I needed to work out in the morning. And I lasted, and then after 3 days, he was like, yeah, no. And then after 2 weeks of T25, where I was doing the workouts, but not really eating great, like I was just floundering, really, my kids got sick. And it was almost like, yes, my kids are sick. Now I have to exercise. Like, so twisted in my head, but that's what happened. So the box of T25 DVDs just sat. It sat on my little TV stand, like taunting me, right? And I'd be like, Monday, go, go, go. Next Monday, go, go, go. Next Monday. We all have done it at one point of our lives where we just can't commit. It's like too hard because we know deep down we're just going to fail again. So I just kept pushing it off until I saw a post on Facebook. So it was a girl who I graduated high school with. I was really close friends with her and hadn't talked to her in about 3 years. And she had just signed up as a coach underneath Keith. So she put up this post and said, I'm going to run this challenge group for this program called T25. Who wants to join me? So at this point, I'm like, okay, I know her. I trust her. I have the program already, and it just so happened that my sister-in-law gave me an open bag of Shakeology, and because her and her husband, crazy, they didn't like it. So she gave that to me, and I commented, I'm in, on that post on Facebook, and that post ultimately changed the course of my entire life. And it's crazy how those little things that seem like minuscule, right? You think every time you post on Facebook, is it really going to make a difference? Sometimes you feel like you're talking to nobody, but you never know how you can impact somebody with one post. And I'm thankful every single day that she made that post and started that challenge group because it changed me as a person. So, side note, I joined her group buying nothing from her. So if you guys come across people who already have a program or say, no, I don't want to drink Shakeology, or say, no way, I don't want to be a coach, don't ask me, let them in your group anyways, because you never, ever, ever know what kind of experience they're going to have in that group. It's so easy to say no to all of it until you become a part of that group, and then you feel that magic, which is exactly what happened for me. So I get into this group, and it was amazing. I was like, oh my God, like this is really something. Like I'm actually doing this. I'm actually not hitting snooze every morning. I'm doing push-ups, not on my knees. And about a week into the program, my friend's like, oh my God, you're posting every day. You should be a coach. And in my head, I was like, you're out of your mind. I don't even know what you're talking about. I just want to do a workout here. Like no interest. And I verbatim said, coaching's not for me. Like, I'm so happy for you that you found this, but it's just not for me. So I keep going. Things keep changing. People start to ask me what's going on. My mom, I lived with my mom at the time, so she would see me up at 5:30 every morning, and then she'd kind of be poking over because the living room and the den where I'd work out, there was like this little half window. So I'm doing T25, which is you're jumping everywhere. So she would see my head like bopping up and down. She'd like poke and be like, what the heck are you doing? I think I want to do that too. So little by little, people kind of started to ask, well, what are you doing? So 5 weeks in T25, I was like just starting my 6th week, so into beta, and 21 Day Fix was coming out. And I was like, okay, I have a bunch of family members asking me what I'm doing. My mom's on board with this. Could this be something? So that was it. My why became, why the heck not? Why not? I love this program. I love the way I feel. I love this chocolate deliciousness for breakfast. I drank the Kool-Aid and I wanted to see what this could offer me. So I signed up. I started my first challenge group a month later, and I just sort of never looked back. And in this time frame, it was a huge eye-opener for me because I realized how much I had lacked confidence, how much I lacked self-worth, how much I really did want more for my life, but I had no idea like what that would be until I started this. And it began this adventure for me of becoming a person that could use this platform to help other people. I've always been somebody that liked to help people, but I never considered my voice worthy of listening to. That's just never who I was. And that it just led to that feelings of, I just was content with my life. And I was just sort of, like I said before, sort of felt like I was settling into who I was as a mom and a wife. And it was good. And I was a caretaker for all these amazing kids, and I helped my family. And once I started this, I realized that it could be so much more than that. And it had to come from a place of authenticity, which is a little bit of what Leah wanted to share tonight. And I'm going to talk a bit about like social media and how I've utilized that in a way that's helped me build my business. Not like full on social media training, but it's so important. I actually just made a post about it tonight. The power behind social media that we have as coaches is insane. It's like insane. So I started sharing. And it's funny because I just had my 3-year anniversary last month. And you know how you go into on this day and you can see your memories from like a couple years ago and certain things you post. When I look at the post that I first made, I was like, oh my God, like how did anybody say yes to me? That was terrible. Like so not good. But you have to start somewhere. And I didn't realize the difference between sharing myself and sharing a product. So when I first started, I was just barfing Beachbody all over everybody because I just wanted people to get this. I wanted people to feel like I felt. And then I realized, okay, I need to share me. I need to talk about what this has done for me and how it can impact somebody else. I needed to dig deep inside to figure out who I was beyond being a mom, beyond being a wife, beyond being somebody who, you know, took care of little kids all day long. I needed to find who I was. And this whole journey of working on myself really helped me dig into that. And now over the course of 3 years, when I look back at all those posts, I can see my own evolution. And I know like I'm not even anywhere near done yet. But you start to grow into yourself and knowing who you are and keeping your eyes on you, your journey, and on the person, even if it's just one person every day that you want to dial in on, and not being sidetracked by what everybody else is doing, that's when you have that sense of authenticity. So you guys know, like once you become a coach, you become friends with a gazillion other coaches. And it's crazy because then all of a sudden Facebook world becomes this happy place where maybe it wasn't before. Maybe you have a bunch of Debbie Downers that are on your Facebook who are complaining about politics and the weather and all these things, and life is just wretched. But then you see this other side and you see these people who are positive and these people who are uplifting each other and wanting to make a difference in this sea of negativity. So you really have to focus on those people, but not in a way that you're like, oh, that person just posted this, so now I have to do that. And oh, wait a minute, they're sharing this like this, so now I have to do that. And oh my God, I just saw this person do this, so now I have to do it that way. Because I know I did that. I would see all these people and I'd be like, I got to do it that way. I got to do it this way. Take inspiration from the people that you see, but always be true to who you are. There are going to be people who you have like a similar vibe with other coaches that you're like, okay, they like totally, I share this the same way, I get this the same way, and that's wonderful, but always make it your own. And always, 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 every time that you're sharing anything about yourself, shift it so that it's not just about you talking about yourself, but you sharing so that people know that you are there to help them. That's when you can bridge the gap into people thinking that you're just sharing your story, which is so hugely important, but to know that you're sharing your story with a purpose. And that every time you're showing up on social media, and every time you show up in a challenge group, every time you show up in the team page, that you're sharing something that is with purpose, that is with a piece of your heart, so that people are going to be able to connect to you and trust you and know that you're there for them, but also know that they can do this for themselves. So one of the things that I would love for you guys to do after the call is go through your social media. Like, take your phone and like do a scroll like 1, 2, 3 times and look at your posts and really take like that hard look at yourself. Like, do people know me right now? Are they just seeing a sweaty selfie of me? Or are they just seeing like a picture of me drinking a shake? Or do they know why a workout is so important to you? Do they know who you were before you started this? Do they know who you are today? And do they know where you're going? That's one of the most important things that you can do is you can use this platform to show people where you came from, where you are right now, and where you're going, so that people see that this is a journey that every single person can take. It's just a choice. And it's just them knowing that they can do it, and watching you every single day show up is showing them that they can do it too. So go through, and you guys can even do it like as a team. I've done this with my team before, where you kind of all like check everybody's page, or like pick a buddy and like swap off and go through and be like, you know what, this post was really good, you should do more of this. This one, you can maybe add this in to make it a little bit more impactful. It's an awesome thing to do. So every time you make a post, just think, what is the purpose of this post? Is it to make somebody laugh and feel inspired? Is it to uplift somebody? Is it to give them a call to action? Always know that a piece of you is in everything that you share. And I actually, if you guys listened to the wake up call yesterday, it was posting is your paycheck. I don't know if you guys heard it. If you haven't listened to it yet, listen to the replay. It was awesome. But I thought it was funny because I put this post-it. I love post-its. I put like affirmations and little notes to remind myself. I put this, I don't know if you guys can read it. I put it on my computer so I can see it every day. And I told myself, if I want this to be a business, I have to treat it like a business. And I have to know that every time I show up and talk about my life and talk about what this has done for me, that it is going to make a difference. So I tell myself with every post, I'm getting paid for this post. This post is going to make a difference. This post is going to speak to somebody who's going to need this just like I do, and love this just like I do, and make something of this just like I'm trying to do. So definitely go through your own posts and take that hard look on yourself, but know, like, be kind to yourself. Don't be like, oh my God, I stink at this. This was bad, that was bad. Look at it like you grow. You grow from it. We all put stuff out there that after a little while, like, oh my God, that wasn't good. That wasn't great. But you learn and you go. So sharing authentically to who you are is all about not just sharing a highlight reel. So we don't want to be complainers, right? Because we have talked about the Debbie Downers. We don't want to be one of them. But you don't want to just share like the pretty picture all the time. You want to be real. So it's not the highlight reel, it's the real deal. It's all the aspects of your life. Maybe you work a full-time job and you don't want to work out when you get home. Maybe you have kids that are crazy and were cooped up all day in a snow day and are like, thank God my husband was home, so he's putting them to bed right now if they were getting crazy. Like, all of those things, talk about it, but you always, always, always have the opportunity to shed light on it, to make it not look like a problem, but look like you have a solution to it. That you're working through it in a positive way, because guys, people need all of this. It's beyond a workout. It's beyond a shake. People need this for their life. People need more joy in their lives, and that's what this can offer them. People need a community that's going to uplift them And that's what this can offer them. And it's just from you sharing exactly who you are and what this is doing for you. Why do you want to get up and work out at 5:30 in the morning? Only crazy people do that, right? That's what people are going to think. But why do you do it? Talk about why you do it. Talk about what it's done for you. Why do you drink Shakeology? Maybe you had migraines. Maybe you have, health issues. Maybe you've had digestive problems. Maybe you never ate breakfast. Maybe you just needed something more for your life. Maybe you love to eat cookies every day. That was me. Cookies every day. I still can eat cookies every day, but I don't. So talk about that deep-seated stuff, who you are. And you have to get super vulnerable. You have to share the stuff that's going to make you cringe when you hit post. It seems like, oh dear God, no, but you have to. It's the way that it's the way you're going to find your tribe. It is. It's the way that you're going to find the people who are your people. I'm still learning that now because I've had some people who have been with me for a while who I'm just learning now weren't supposed to be with me for this long. And we weren't actually the tribe that I thought that we were. And being in this business for 3 years, it's like I said, that evolution. I'm learning that now. And I am more authentic to myself now than I ever have been. And I feel that difference. The people that I'm talking to, you feel the difference. And people so appreciate when you share what's hard. It inspires them. Yes, baby. You want to come sit with me real quick? Come here. Oh my gosh. Oh. Say hi to everyone. People will appreciate your vulnerability. They'll appreciate the truth and honesty that you share. And they will appreciate you sharing those bits and pieces of your heart. And that is what it is to be authentic. It's not letting fear get in the way of sharing what's hard, because that is what's going to fully inspire people to join your journey and start their own. And hopefully it will help them do the same thing, that they'll start their journey and know, because of watching you and learning from you and you guiding them, they'll come into this and say, I can do this too now. I have this power inside to share myself authentically so somebody else can experience what I've experienced. It's a ripple effect when you share that truth and you share that honesty of who you are. And I'm telling you guys, where you are now, but where you're going, when you're sharing that vision, say it loud and proud. The more you say it, the more real it becomes for yourself. The more people are going to say like, whoa, I want a piece of whatever she's doing. And the more you're going to believe that you're actually going to get there. So I think that's all I had. I kind of talk crazy fast when I start blabbing on and on.
That was awesome. Thank you.
You're so welcome.
Does anybody have any questions?
Do you think you can share an example of what your bad post back in the day looked like and what a vulnerable, purposeful post now would be?
Absolutely. So I used to take a picture of the DVD next to my face. Like, I just did my workout, something like that. Or with the TV behind me, I just worked out with a muscle. And that's great. But it's sort of at the same time, who cares? Okay, she worked out. So did 5 million other people today. So it's a matter of taking that and making it about somebody else. So now when I share something if I share stuff now, I try to share videos because I like to sort of make it not so serious and be more, here, honey. Yes, go ahead. Go ahead. Sorry, guys. And be more myself. So people can actually see a little bit more of me. So I love to do videos, especially if things like Country Heat, when I'm dancing around like a maniac, things like that. That I feel speaks more to people because they can see me laughing at myself, having fun. And I always say, if you want something like this, if this looks like something that would be fun for you, like I try to word it in a way to make it about them and not just about me. And I'll point blank say if I post a sweaty selfie, I'll be like, oh, there she is again, sweating all over Facebook. Like, who cares? But then I'll say the reason I share this is because I'm sharing this with you because I want you to know that I once felt like you. Are you exhausted? Are you run down? Do you feel like all you do is give to everybody else, but you know you need something for you? I'm here. Let's chat. So I just shifted in a way to let people know that my sweaty selfie is there to let them know that they can take their own. Does that make sense?
Great. Anyone else with questions, comments, or they need help with their posts?
I seriously love, like, it's so funny because I didn't really like expect to talk totally about social media tonight, but I made a post about it tonight because I didn't never even wanted a Facebook. Like, my sister made me an account and I was like, I don't want that. That was back when like MySpace was just getting over. I never did that either. And I was like, I don't want Facebook. I'm good. I don't need that. I don't need to talk to all the people that I used to go to high school with. That was such an introvert. I still am shy. Like things like this, it still blows my mind that I can do this to talk to people like this because it's so out of my element, like so out of my element. So now I look at social media like such a gift. Like it gives me the ability as a mom of 3 to make new friends every single day. Like that is a gift. So really look at it like there's going to be times where maybe you don't get as many likes as you thought, or you're going to put something out there that doesn't get the response you thought it would. But know that there's people that are watching you. Even if there's not 100 likes on something, people are watching you and they're counting on you. So keep showing up for them as your amazing, authentic self.
All right, guys, going once. Going twice. All right. Thank you so much for coming on and speaking. And everyone have a great night.
Thank you, Taryn.
Of course, guys. Have an awesome night. And thank you so much. Such an honor to chat with you guys tonight.
Bye.
See ya.